Will the Super Eagles make it to the 2026 Mondial? This is after missing last World Cup. Or is it South Africa that will pick this ticket at the expense of Nigeria? I am still asking that question right now. See, Asanga cannot help us because he's just being a patriotic South African. We need to hear from the Nigerians. Group C of the CAF FIFA World Cup qualifiers has turned out to be the most fiercely contested for what? With the three teams, Nigeria, Benin Republic, and South Africa, they are standing having a chance to make it out of this group for a ticket to the World Cup. Super Eagles Gafar, Eric Sekushel, the waterman, waterbender. His words will have everything they have. They'll put in everything they have to secure a decent win against the cheaters of Benin Republic, and they hope that favor them going into picking the ticket for the World Cup. Group C leaders, Benin Republic, are on 17 points, and they have faith in their hands as if they have a win against Nigeria at the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium, that will earn them their first ever FIFA World Cup ticket. But we are not the party spoilers. We're not the joy spoilers. We just want to be at the World Cup and not miss back-to-back World Cup. Remember, bilateral relationship. We didn't have it in this one here, but we want to be at the World Cup at all costs. All right, let's see if we've got Enitan Obadina and also, of course, Kosi on. Yes, Kosi Sochiku on. Thank you so much. And gentlemen, are you with us? Oh, great. Of course. Thank you for joining us on the show. We appreciate your time. We're fast spent, but we need to have this conversation. Let me begin with Kosi. Kosi, at this time, I don't know if it is sweat I can see on your forehead. I don't know if it is you trying to think about the Super Eagles, but no Tinkam. Hope Day. Will the Super Eagles qualify today?
Look, at this moment, you can best describe me as an optimistic Nigerian. I'm not looking at the table. I'm not looking at the points. I'm not trying to entertain any negative feeling. I'm just filled with hope that our boys will go out there later on this evening and do their own part of the business. And hopefully, Rwanda out there in South Africa also give us a helping hand. So if the question is, can we? Of course we can. Of course we can beat Benin Republic here in Nigeria. And of course Rwanda can put a spanner to the works of South Africa's own progress. So my answer to the question of can, of course we can, yeah.
Okay. Of course, we can qualify for the World Cup. A lot of Nigerians are quite optimistic ahead of this game against Benin Republic. But I'm going to ask Anita, thank you for joining us once again. How does CAF's new qualification rule affect Nigeria's prospects in these qualifiers?
I think it puts us on a straight lane to winning the game against Benin Republic. You just have to win. If you win and nothing happens in the South Africa game, that means you start a chance for having a looking into that second group playoff thing that is also on offer, but that means you have to score a lot of goals. So a convincing win against Benin Republic with as much as 3 goals, that's what that rule, that memo that came out, that people saw, came online, that's what you do to the kind of performance you're expected to put up. You're expected to go home, hit home and hit hard against Benin Republic to get the result that can either take us to the moon or we land among the stars. Either of the way, we just need to win.
So goal difference will be a deciding factor here if things go in a very, unseen fashion here. So looking at this standing, looking at how it is, how will goal difference affect Nigeria's qualification, no matter the outcome of today's encounter? Kosi, let me begin with you.
Fundamentally, we've got to try to score as many goals as we can against Benin Republic, because there's a lot that would then be riding on goal difference. Even away from Group C, you look at what DR Congo have to do later on today against Sudan for their own game. So the bottom line is, first and foremost, we have to get a win against Benin Republic, and we have to try and accompany that victory with as many goals as we can. What that would afford the Super Eagles is that if the criteria now comes down to how many goals you have scored, and then your goals difference, whichever it swings along the lines of that particular criteria of goals, then we would be found worthy of sneaking into that playoff position, even if we're not outrightly able to outrightly get into the World Cup automatically. So yeah, the objective is clear. We don't just have to win today. We have to achieve a victory that is accompanied by a lot of goals against Benin.
Talking about a lot of goals, we would need our attackers to be up and doing, and Ademola Lookman is one of the attackers. Enito, are you in any way worried that he will be out of the game today because of the accumulated cards?
Okay, so forgive me for this thought. I think Ademola has been out of it for long when it comes to playing for Nigeria. He does put his best, trying to create chances, trying to strike, but he has not been in that sharp form, basically, we've watched. So this might just be another chance for the likes of Tolu, the likes of Akko Adams, to get among the goals. So I don't think we are too blessed. I don't think we are going to miss him that much, although he is important to the team, but I don't think we are going to miss him that much.
All right, so talking about missing Ademola Lookman, of course, the yellow cards have given us a wrong implication in that game. But the Super Eagles are hoping that they can, rather they are optimistic that they can get a result. But again, I'm going to ask you, due to, in the past, we talk about bilateral relationship with Qatar, became a catastrophe. Now we keep talking about bilateral relationship with USA. What are the implications, Enito, if Nigeria fails to qualify for the World Cup? This is like thunder striking twice if it happens. What are the implications?
The implications are many, both football-wise, both for the Super Eagles brand, for development of football. It tells a lot of stories, and of course, economically, it sets people in the media. You and I, it sets people in the media, and generally, people doing travels and tours. I think people do not understand how big this is for Nigeria as a country, not just the players. We talk about the players not being serious enough. It also has to do with Nigerians, are the people who try to build merchandise, the people who try, the airlines that will have to book a lot of tickets for people to travel, both fans and the media alike, and of course the players for their careers, even the administrators. Sometimes when you look back at your tenure, you want to be remembered for one of the few administrations that took us to the World Cup. So when we miss out, it's a huge knock, it's a huge slap. But we have lived that experience before. We lived it in 2006. We lived it just some 4 or 5 years ago. We probably survived it. But it's also another chance. Despite it's a blow, it's also another chance for us to maybe do the things we have ignored, we've stopped doing, to look at ourselves in the mirror and tell ourselves the whole truth that we are not doing enough, we are not building enough. Our decision making are poor. You cannot be using up to 3 to 4 coaches during the qualifiers. You cannot be appointing coaches with a month in order to save money, so that you will not be appointed 2 months in advance and you are trying to save money. So it's a chance either way for us to do the right thing.
Right, a chance for us to do the right thing. Kosi, I'm going to ask you this one now. Your name is Kosi Sochukwubo in Yoruba. You say Kosi Rere. There's no crazy, there's no madness in today's match against Benin. We hope for all 3 points and a lot of goals to be scored. But irrespective of today's result, how should the NFF help the Super Eagles going forward?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I think that we have had an inverse approach to the development of football. I think it should actually be the other way around, where more attention should be paid to football within the boundaries of the country, leagues, the lower leagues for men and women. But more attention has been paid to the Super Eagles, and that isn't yielding as much fruit as we want either. So going forward, it's just about a bit more stability, perhaps a longer-term goal. Some of the decisions have been erratic, and it is contributory to why where we are at the moment. So you speak to a lot of people in-house. I mean, I interviewed one of the former coaches of the Super Eagles during this qualification series, and some of the things he revealed to me in terms of the choices that were made at some point to save money. He asked for an early camp in Europe so the players don't go on a jamboree on holiday at the postseason, and it wasn't granted, and all those sorts of things. And we're suffering from the compound effect of those decisions. So going forward, just more stability. Nothing should be spared in aiding the team to be as optimal as we Nigerians desire them to be. And if we do not make this World Cup, lots of questions should be asked. And the responsible federation must begin with a lot of introspection, looking ahead to the future.
All right. They say, Kosi Sochuku Kome. We leave the Super Eagles into God's hands. So
definitely.
Whatever the Lord wills, let it happen. Thank you so much, Enito Badino. We appreciate Kosi Sochuku Honor. Thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. We wish the Super Eagles all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for joining. Well, some football fans in Lagos on Monday expressed mixed reactions regarding the expectations for the Super Eagles qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Some of them were quite optimistic ahead of that game against Benin Republic. And of course, they told our correspondent in Lagos that the team's chances of advancing to the World Cup stage are hanging in the balance given their previous results. Let's hear from these fans.
Because for us to qualify, we need to win. I want to be the most not to win. Honestly, Nigeria might win.
I don't think they can qualify. I don't support them anymore because I don't want to have a heart attack. They play too many draws. I live in England. I support Liverpool. I've never seen a team like that, Super Eagles. Even if they qualify, it's all the Messi. The manager, appointing of the manager and all sorts. It's too much. They can't qualify.
For commercial purposes, I think yes. Because those people behind it want Nigeria to qualify at all costs. If you observe the qualifying series, you've been seen because of some countries, there have been some modification, excuses, this and that for the qualification purpose. But honestly, as in Nigeria, it's a waste of resources. How will you allow a team that you are not even sure that will just go there, play 3 games, and come back home? And you want them to go and waste Nigeria? It's just a fun thing.
All right, Nigerians optimistic. Some of them supporting the Super Eagles. Some of them have given up hope ahead of the game.
You want to give that
Nigeria.
man heart attack?
Yes, they want to give him heart attack.
Can you
they
imagine?
want to unalive him. He said no, he doesn't support the Super Eagles anymore. But going into that game, there are a bit of safety measures for you to follow. If you have high BP, please do not watch the game.
Watch only the Super Falcons.
Yes, if you have anger issues, please don't watch the game. Go and play Ludo or Drought.